Welcome, and a prime evening to all of you. I'm Thunderbird Prime, Master VTuber, and tonight, before we get to writing, a new Shoe0nHead video has dropped. We need to react to it. Also, hello Soul, congratulations on getting first. You're officially the coolest member of chat tonight. So, full disclosure, you see this red bar underneath the video? Yeah, that means I've already watched it. So, full disclosure, this is pre-watched. But boy, oh boy, you can tell it's going to be a doozy just from the thumbnail alone. It's all men's fault. Yes, I've been hearing that my entire life, and frankly, I'm tired, boss. And it's titled, The Male Loser Epidemic. Alright, let's 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like, a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe0nHead, and on this channel I like to
that is a genuine warning.
Cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you
I can
have
imagine
been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a
wow.
super lively 24-year-old
Holy shit.
making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great
Salute
detail
to Shoe for doing it for
been
this
the
long.
Male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad.
Is it just me or have we seen this bitch in a previous Shoe0nHead video? Or do all, like, nasty women start to look alike? I don't know. But I'm, like, 99% sure we've seen this bitch.
That it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Yay!
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it.
Whether you like it or not.
App to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape.
Ad time!
Give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes.
He doesn't have to do a lot to do that.
Because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use
But I don't
the
drink
QR
coffee
code
anymore.
right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Or you could spend that money on, you know, vital things like health care, education, public transportation. No? No? Okay. I'm just saying.
Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men.
You see the problem right here, right? Nothing says working class like luxury hotel rooms. Man, I don't think I've ever spent a single night in a luxury hotel. I spent nights in regular hotels, motels, inns, etc., but never a luxury hotel. 20 million, that's mind-boggling. Where did you get this 20 million from? And why aren't you spending it on something, you know, more productive instead of this bullshit? You don't need to spend $20 million to figure out how to talk to men. You just need to listen to men. Please.
To return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename Sam, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying.
You know, if you try to insert ads into video games, young men are just going to hate you even more. This is a waste of time, a waste of resources, a waste of money, and you will achieve nothing. In fact, you will just double down on your twisted stances.
Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his natural habitat.
Asmongold!
In a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty
He's trying to drink water. He's like, ugh.
Here is another young man.
Oh, Destiny.
Also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another young man.
Nux!
We think... we're not quite sure about this one. We are
VTuber! VTuber representation!
Instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid, maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men.
Yeah!
Free all the time.
Can you tell I pre-watched this?
Comment section. Let's see here. Shoe0nHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania.
Okay, what's the 19th? It's like the 19th Amendment? Hold on. 19th... I'm not American. I don't know what the 19th Amendment is. I don't know what any of the amendments is. 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1920, prohibits the denial of the right to vote based on sex. Okay. So, women's right to vote. Got it. Anyways, back to the video.
Yeah, I hate women so much, it's unreal.
Wow.
Ooh, mommy, milkies, mommy, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle.
Okay.
Maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their
Wow,
money
we actually agree on something.
teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now. Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are
Now hold on just a second. This whole getting rid of toxic masculinity thing was your idea. And now you're complaining that you got exactly what you want. Make it make sense, please. That is my toxic masculine trait. My toxic masculine trait is wanting the world to make sense. And she said the pickings are slim. Well, you're no prize yourself. You and your fake nose job. Your Botox lips. Come on.
a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
First of all, I live on the second floor like a civilized person. Second of all, I live with my foster dad, not my mom. Third, DoorDash? You know how expensive that shit is? This is partly why I've started learning how to cook by myself. I've been mostly successful. Man. Besides, if you were living with your mom, hypothetically, if you were living with your mom, why the hell would you be ordering DoorDash instead of treating yourself to mom's home cooking? Logic in this world? That's fantasy. Unfortunately, yes. Again, that is my toxic trait. My toxic trait is I want the world to make sense.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely...
Okay, so I never really understood the whole stigma of living with your parents. I don't get it. Like, my old man was like, you know, hey, I know it's rough out there. You can stay here as long as you want. He's like, it makes more sense that way. It's like, it costs less money. Like, we can talk more often. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense to me. It's like, I've seen this attitude mostly or also exclusively in the US and to a lesser extent Canada. But it's only with like white families. Like when I talk to like Asian families, Middle Eastern families, Hispanic families, yeah, they're all cool with their kids living with their parents, even in adulthood. So, I'm saying this as an Asian myself.
Viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second.
Oh. Hey!
Blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. Alright, let's go. Wait.
It's just like Rita in Tales of Vesperia. After that huge conga line of just beating the crap out of Raven, she punched Raven. She's like, I didn't want to feel left out. Because everyone else who like punched or kicked him was part of the Brave Vesperia Guild, and she was the only non-guild member.
A gamer fuel.
Monster Energy.
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
Problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home.
Look. You can blame some things on Gen Z. Yes, I'm saying Z. I'm Canadian. You can blame a lot of things on Gen Z. This ain't one of them. None of them want to be like... None of them are trying to make being socially awkward a cutesy thing. Okay? I don't think any generation wants to make that a cutesy thing. But I digress.
Son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The picket.
Well, women are entering the workforce. They're getting higher education than men. They're making more money than men. And they're pushing off marriage and having kids because they don't want to give up their independence. They don't want to give up their lifestyle. So, you know, the ball's in their court. And I'm not saying we should blame women for that. It's their choice. But to blame men for that, for something we have very little say in the matter, it's just ridiculous.
Are slim. Yes, we might have a...
And again, she says the pickings are slim, but you're no catch yourself.
Problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids.
So, let me get this straight. She's saying the problem is the feminization of men. In other words, she's saying that men being more feminine, in other words, men being more like women, is the problem. Chat, what did she mean by this? Chat, I think that sounds kind of misogynistic, don't you think?
They want to have stable families, but there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life.
Have you tried getting a job in this economy? Have you tried meeting new people in this social climate? I mean, touching grass, yeah, anyone can do that. It's just, it takes a little bit of effort, but yeah, that's the one point I'll concede.
Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could...
You heard it here first. Fox News got one guide. It doesn't just happen to Twitch streamers, it happens to Fox News as well.
Cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, f*** you.
Wow.
Nice. Thanks. I love you.
Oh?
I love you too.
Oh? Ayo!
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes.
Yes.
Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No.
Hell no.
And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a...
It's like looking into the face. What was I going with? It's like looking into the face of a body snatcher. Just those soulless eyes.
Young man recently, or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young
In
men?
this
Have you
economy?
experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay.
It's fucking
Alright,
rough.
Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them, but Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this
Tommy is
isn't true.
32?
Why are
Damn.
you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not
She's
enough
worse.
people can afford a nice nose job.
She's so much worse.
And get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain
Clearly
boomer
on
ass
merit.
take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers. But when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are
Nope.
not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family
Not
on
at all.
a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree.
Like
Their
a
leaders
milkman.
didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man. And they
turned it
protected the
into-
paradise that
and they turned it
they
into the
earned.
worst
I just
economy
don't
known to
understand,
man.
Why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids.
Yep,
I want
millennial
to make
here.
the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Cat.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? Increase in testosterone or something?
She's watching too many
But
VTubers again.
Men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so...
Wow.
Maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy.
Maybe.
There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None.
None.
In fact, all the data
In
says
fact,
the exact
less.
f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the
Oh,
same. Another
the
study by
facts.
Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50%
Wow,
of men
only
said the same.
1%
For men,
margin
the
of
most
error.
commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children,
Yes.
best decision I've ever
She has a
made.
son.
10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not
I'm
really
laughing
any
here.
one's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
It's you.
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every
Yeah,
single
they have
one of
bullshit
them
going on.
have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us. It
It's
might be
you.
you. It is not just
It's
the Los
actually you.
Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and it's not. They're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
So true. That's like one of my... It's definitely in my top threes, like, of what I look for in a woman. Kindness. Number one being accountability. But now's not the time for that.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready
it's
to be
because of
husbands
the
and
money.
fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So
No.
let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more!
Pick a lane, you bitch.
She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
Oh.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is...
Oh, I've heard this. What do you bring to the table? I am the table. So you're calling yourself an object. Funny that.
a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider.
So nothing.
If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame,
Yes!
blame. These two women have a combined age of 93, and they have 0 children between both.
Ooh!
You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth.
Holy
My
shit!
goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place.
Yes, we know, we know. You say it all the time. We know. We don't care. Times have changed.
She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes.
We know you can't relate to this. In fact, I can't relate to that either. I can't relate to your life story because that's totally not what happened to me at age 18 and 19. Sure, I got kicked out of my house, but it was for completely different reasons.
We know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest.
Why?
I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing?
Yes, it is.
Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not
Ooh!
Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Dino Nuggies, let's go! The ketchup too! And the Monster Zero.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Lazy young men go get a job. Bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on...
Leave our video games alone. You know, alright, back up, back up. Incoming hot take. None of this would be happening if you didn't fuck with our video games. That's all I have to say.
My TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son.
No man would ever actually say that.
Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy, and he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Wait, he has a university degree and he can't get a job? That's not his fault. That's society's fault.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah.
It's Always Sunny!
A job helmet and squeeze that into a
Job cannon! Fire off! Job land!
We're jobs growing jobbies!
jobbies!
Welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor.
Yep.
Companies and billionaires would rather
All of the
have
above.
cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders
Simple
called
economics.
Open Borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Open
No,
borders.
that's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But
anybody
it would make a lot
me.
of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these
I
jobs
missed that
being
guy.
taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14.
Why did it have to be 9,000? My inner Vegeta is welling up inside me. I want to say the line, but it's about something very tragic. Let's just continue the video.
15,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80%
Wow,
men, and
look at
electronic
that.
engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say,
abusive.
not very America first. When conservatives confronted
It's
Elon
very
Musk
America
for this
last, actually.
year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to replacing American workers
yes.
in manual labor,
Elon
with
Musk
cheap
crashing
foreign
out.
labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when
Must
it
be
comes
a
to
day that
replacing
ends in Y.
his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's,
Wow.
oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs.
You probably could have chosen a better choice of words for that, Shoe, not gonna lie. Even she realizes I paused at the perfect time. It's like, it was at that moment that Shoe knew she fucked up.
I am not beating the allegations with this one.
No, you're not.
Brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too.
Yep.
Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women
The biggest air quotes ever.
changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes.
Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women
well, how the turntables.
earned about 1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing
Gotta
the
step up to be the
traditional
breadwinner.
pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political...
So let me get this straight. Women want all the progressive stuff that helps them earn more money, get better jobs, yada, yada, yada. But they still hold men to the traditional standard of being the breadwinner, making more money, being the caretaker, being the provider, yada, yada, yada. You can't have it both ways. Sorry, but if you're earning more money, you're the breadwinner, and all the responsibilities that come with it. You made your bed, now lie in it.
Affiliation and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose
I know exactly why she's laughing. Men struggling economically, women most affected. The memes write itself.
marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected.
Yeah!
Women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector.
Schrodinger's feminist. A woman is simultaneously empowered and a victim. Until something happens, then she chooses whichever one is most convenient for her.
And a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money.
Are they worried though?
Hello class, I am Shoe0nHead. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy.
Wait,
today
what?
We are learning about the graph.
The graph.
This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972?
What happened in 1972?
Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023.
Gross.
CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average.
Oof!
Anything else? Anything else happen around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time. We don't have to get into that today.
Why
The
not?
fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy
To an
people.
extent.
And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze.
Just like in the last video, like Shoe said. Men are doing everything that their grandpas did, but seeing none of the results. And when that happens, it greatly diminishes your will to continue working. Because like she just said, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. If you do not see the fruits of your labor, what reason do you have to continue laboring?
Whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks,
Let's see. If Kamala Harris loses the election to Donald Trump, disaffected young men will inevitably shoulder much of the blame, for the simple reason that the children are our future and nothing is scarier than angry dudes. Maybe these people need to pick up a history book.
This. I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again. It's not something that works for them, because this
doesn't work.
Is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees,
educated
and,
men,
initiative, who aren't smoking weed,
they're not
every day,
drunks, they're not alcoholics, they're not
buy
smoking
a
weed,
car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring.
There it is. The most understated line of the entire video. Don't believe me? Pick up a history book. See what happens when there is a large group of disenfranchised young men who are angry and feel like they have nothing left to live for. Spoiler alert, very bad things happen. So, maybe, turn your attention to these men. Try to help them before it's too late. This is my warning.
When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not even a George Bush 2 electric boogaloo.
Electric
will
boogaloo.
have men coming back to the Democratic Party.
No.
Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot
So
of
we're the
people,
idiots,
even
right?
Podcast bros seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them.
Wow.
We'll see, I guess. Hold on one second.
Back to brunette Shoe.
So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with
I think it's bullshit. I think it's just another made-up narrative just to shit on men. Again. Like they've been doing for the past 30 years. And frankly, I'm tired, boss.
Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your
No.
comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No. You can't say that.
Nope.
No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A.
Oh!
Please subscribe, and if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel, and I appreciate it so much. And
Heart
I will see you
hands.
guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. 'Cause I know
Oh
you
boy.
gremlins love that shit. Bye!
Make the VTuber video already, Shoe. We know you're making it. Just finish it already. There's been so many VTubers reacting to Shoe0nHead. She could make like a full-ass compilation. Hey, that's me. Hey, that's me. Wow. Wow. It's a self-sustained economy, baby. Anyways. Now that we've reacted to that video, I will probably just send it over to my editor and let him work his magic. Meanwhile, I'm hiding the screen right now as I boot up Spirit Ways. We'll just close this video. Da 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 da. Ba ba da. Ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da. Where is the program now? Alright, now where is that program? I know I've used it recently. Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. And thankfully, I already have my writing document up. I'm going to change a little bit something. Instead of going for like 30 minutes of writing and then 10 minutes of yapping, let's cut it down to 20 minutes of writing and then 10 minutes of yapping. We'll see how that goes. We're still in the experimenting phase. We're seeing what works and what doesn't. Hopefully you can hear the music now, because I definitely hear it. Now let me just pull it up. Lighting. It's nighttime. It's very dark outside. Only the street lights are on. And now I can unhide El Gato. Let me just click the blob. So cute. Cute. Timer. Alright. Now, let me just make sure. Pin. Mask on equals I'm working and won't respond. Now I should probably just put my mask on. There we go. There we go. Anyways, time to be productive, or at least as productive as I can be. You know what? Maybe I'll try just mumbling to myself about like stupid bullshit. Let's start. You know, I wish I could be more productive. I wish I could work on this more. But alas, working a full-time job kind of sucks. It drains all your energy. It spiritually demoralizes you. By the time you get home, you're dead tired. You really don't want to do anything else. But as a VTuber, I have a responsibility to keep doing things. To try to be like as energetic as possible, as lively as possible. Try not to show my everyday troubles in my voice or in my words. I'm just reading the document I have open, trying to figure out where the hell did I leave off? Also, my keyboard for new PC is kind of in an awkward position. I kind of have to lean a little bit to the left because there's just not enough desk space. I mean, I could put my elbow on the table. Put my elbow on the desk. It might help a bit. And just a reminder, I won't be looking at chat until 17.5 minutes. Until the counter reaches 0. So you can just listen to me yap, yap, yap. And I have to remind myself that I need to save the VOD, send it over to my editor, let him work his magic. Should probably take a drink of water too. And it's already 9:50, huh? So it's already been an hour since stream started, huh? I'll probably do the usual thing, work until 11. Then I'll figure out what to do next. Probably end stream. Like I said, I usually want to have like more time to work on this, but like I said before, I'm pretty exhausted after work, but it's the literal only time I have to stream. It leaves me in kind of conundrum. It forces me to draw upon the well of energy I have deep in my soul. Like I mentioned before, this is the only time I have to stream. This is after work. Unfortunately, my work hours don't let me off until like 8 o'clock at night. I mean, I have thought about streaming in the morning. Not a good idea. Mornings are just full of me getting ready for work, exercising / weightlifting, getting breakfast ready, getting lunch ready, doing my gotcha dailies. Like, and I also don't want to run the risk of like going overtime with my streams, which would result in me being late for work, and that's no good. Hopefully the momentum with YouTube does start to pick up, so that can be like a secondary source of income, so I don't have to wholly rely on monetary support from like Twitch subs and bits and donations. I mean, that's the main reason why I still hang on to my full-time job, as much as I don't really like it. Because if I had quit my full-time job when I started VTubing, I would have been so screwed. I feel like dedicating like every Friday to writing is getting me to be more productive. Because like I said, I rarely have any other time to do this. I wish I could devote more time to writing, like more writing streams, but I know for a fact that would burn me out. Okay. Why does Twitch chat and my OBS just keep disconnecting and reconnecting? I've gotten the message, welcome to the chat room, 5 times already. How goes the writing? It's going. It's going at a reasonable pace. Now we start the yap timer. How are you doing, Iggy? Hope your day is going well. Like, I guess I should give you guys like a progress report on like how I'm trying to like slowly get off caffeine. Trying to break my caffeine dependency or addiction, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so got second at a, I'm going to assume UA stands for Union Arena and FMA stands for Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. But hey, second! That's no small feat. Congratulations. Anyways, as I was saying, it's been almost 1 week since I started trying to like slowly get off caffeine. Like, my goal was like, alright, first 2 weeks, instead of drinking caffeine every day, let's cut it down to every other day. And the first day was the roughest. The first day has remained the roughest. Every day after that has been noticeably easier. So maybe, if it's going so well, maybe instead of doing it for 2 weeks of just once every other day, I can cut it down to 1 week, and then the second week I go down to once every 3 days. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'm not getting too ahead of myself here. But you know, I am proud of my progress. It's like I made a conscious decision to improve my life. I am making reasonable steps in order to reach that goal. I have made a reasonable plan, following it, and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. So you know what? Once Sunday rolls around, Sunday will be the usual don't drink caffeine, and then Monday, I will also not drink caffeine. And then we'll see how like once every 3 days goes. And if that goes well, once every 4 days. Or like twice a week. And then down to once a week. And then I can then turn it to just once a week or something. Like, I guess the only saving grace is that like the energy drink powders I'm using, like, it's 0 sugar, less than like about 1 calorie, so it's not a sugar addiction as well as caffeine addiction. Oh boy, that would be a double whammy. Yeah, I should be proud. I am proud. And also, something I have been looking forward to in terms of like customizing my PC case has finally arrived. So maybe, just maybe after stream, I'll start like planning out how do I want to do this. And then like once I'm done, I can show off the photos. I'll take some pictures, maybe clean up the PC case desk because I have unwittingly let it get very messy. There's like a whole bunch of stuff on it. Besides like the essential stuff. Like the PC case is supposed to be on it. The router. The modem. a power bar or two. Yes, those should be on the table. But other things that shouldn't be on the table are now on the table, like my meds, some receipts, a pair of scissors, my checkbook, the figure of Memcho from Oshinoko that I won from a crane game 2 years ago in Akihabara. A Swiss Army knife. A couple of coasters. The broken strap for my Kamen Rider double necklace. I have since moved the Cyclone Gaia memory necklace piece part from the broken strap onto something a little sturdier. I looked if I had any like spare necklaces I wasn't using, and I found one. So it's like on a chain necklace now. That should be a hell of a lot sturdier than some string, whatever it was. It snapped pretty easily too, the old one. I should also like clean the area underneath the desk as well. That has also accidentally gotten pretty messy as well. It's just the box for the monitor I got for old PC as I moved the 2 monitors I was using to new PC. Yeah, I should probably break down the boxes and like throw in them recycling. I should do that. I've made it a point to like slowly but surely like clean up both my streaming room and my bedroom whenever I have days off. Because frankly, those are the only times I have available. Because most of the time when I come home from work, it's eat something quick, then get ready for stream. Like today. Also, let's click this blob thing. Hehe. So yeah. Also, like the thing came in like a circular tube, so like eat something while driving easy. I can't believe chat is trying to get me into a car collision because of distracted driving by trying to eat while driving. First off, I would never do that. If I'm eating, I am not driving. If I am driving, I am not eating. Also commit a crime. No. No. I can't believe chat is trying to coerce me into doing crimes. This is a travesty. Second of all, it's a new car. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible for as long as possible. Third, what if I need to use a spoon or a fork? You want me to drive with my knees? That's just insane. You are a bad influence. But also you make funny videos and shorts. So I'll let it slide a little bit. Haha, you have to keep me around. Yes, yes, yes. Huh. Also, there's another thing that came in the mail today that I've been looking forward to. Unfortunately, the sender sent it to the... not my address for some reason. I don't know why. There should be someone at home when it arrives. Maybe it's not me, it doesn't matter. There's still someone who can accept the package. So now I'm trying to figure out, is there a way to get that package, or at least the contents of that package, into my hands by tomorrow night? Because if I can get it by tomorrow night, maybe there's something I can do. If I can't get it by tomorrow night, oh well, it is what it is. Sounds like a good time, and by good I mean awful. Yes. Yes, see? See, that's how you know someone's been in my chat for quite a long time. Because they picked up on my mannerisms and the way I talk. Because, like, I'll say stupid shit like, that's a bit of a problem, and by a bit of a problem, I mean a huge problem. Oh, look at that. Yapping time is over. Let's try to do more work. And I think I heard an owl, or a pigeon, or something. Yes, I have known you for most of your VTuber life. Anyways, time to get back to writing. Let's just put the helmet back on, and then we can lock back in. Set the timer to 20 minutes. Whoosh. Man, it really sucks that I work weekends. If I didn't work weekends, I could have, like, picked up that package myself. But now, instead I gotta, like, jump through hoops and try to arrange for someone else to get it for me. Oh well. It is what it is. No use crying about it now. So, good news. Where's that list? To-do list. Yeah. Chapter 24 completed. In fact, I even started writing a bit of chapter 25. Hooray for me! And to reward myself, I decided just to yap for the rest of the stream. Well, if things go well tomorrow, there might be a surprise. If they don't go well tomorrow, don't worry about it. And I need to take a little drink. So, one thing I have noticed when I started this, like, breaking free of my caffeine addiction journey, like, the main goal was to see if doing this would improve my sleep. I have noticed a slight improvement to my sleep. Of course, realistically, I wasn't expecting my sleep quality to just instantly shoot through the roof. Just only after 1 week, come on. That's unrealistic. But the fact that, like, I've noticed a little bit of improvement tells me I'm onto something here. How do we hide this? Just there. There we go. So, I might be onto something here. Also, did I save this new document? Let's save again, just in case. Fingers permanently glued to Control S. It's just a habit I've developed. Like, if I'm just typing on my keyboard and I stop typing, just my left hand reflexively moves to Control and S and just rests there. It's a quirky little habit I've developed, but it saved me a lot of times. So who's to say it really is quirky? Well, weather's been cooling off a little bit. Just for a few days though. I'm pretty sure the temperatures are going to shoot back up during this weekend, unfortunately. Which means I'll have to turn back the AC on. Which is a shame because I enjoy the fresh air just blowing through my window. Especially since, like, I'm so close to the window now. Thanks to this new desk setup. Like, I can feel the breeze so much easier now. Doom, 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 doom. 17 minutes left. I mean, what's different in the world of gacha games? Let's see, Azure Lane. We're having a little down period. It's just return of bunny girl skins, and they're trying to grab my wallet that way. Unfortunately for them, I'm not seeing the bunny girl skins I actually want. So, haha, I'm free. I've escaped Azure Lane's monetary clutches. For now. Girls Frontline 2, I'm still grinding away at artifact recovery. In fact, I'll probably do that a little bit more tonight before I go to bed. But, Chuhua is coming next week. But I've been spending all my cubes trying to get V1 Springfield. Whether or not I get her in time remains to be seen. Genshin, I've just been trying to get better artifacts for Skirk. Like, surprisingly, if you're using Farina in her team comp, her best in slot artifact set becomes Marchuse Hunter. So I've been grinding in that domain. Because like the other artifacts set in that domain is very beneficial for Farina and Escoffier, who I'm also using in my Skark team. So it's like double whammy. You know, I should probably click this ticket thing. Yeah. Nice. Blue Archive. Yeah, I can't seem to beat Gebra on Extreme. It's just too much HP. My attacking special students aren't strong enough. I mean, I guess it's time to like... One of them is Nagisa, and she's a limited unit, so like it wouldn't hurt to like use Ellipse to like rank her up to 5 stars and then get her personal weapon. It really wouldn't hurt, because like Nagisa's a limited unit. She's not even available in this Fest banner. She's only available in her like exclusive limited banner, along with who else is running beside her that's also a limited unit. So like I feel justified in spending Ellipse on limited units. Like the other like red special attack unit I have built up is Hibiki. But like I can grind her Ellipse out in like one hard mode stage. So because of that, I'm not as eager to spend my Ellipse on Hibiki. Even though I think Hibiki is cool. I like her design. I like the fact she likes to cosplay. But of course, all of this is limited because I do not have a lot of credits in Blue Archive. If I ever do, it just disappears immediately, leveling up like student skills, student equipment, and I have to grind out equipment as well. Wow, I can see Blue Archive is true to real life, in that teachers are perpetually broke. I wish that wasn't the case. Shout out to my teacher friends. I empathize with your struggle. Let's see. Azure Lane, Girls Frontline 2, Genshin Impact, Blue Archive. Yeah, that's all the gacha games I'm playing. I used to play Fire Emblem Heroes. Until Fire Emblem Heroes decided my phone wasn't good enough to play Fire Emblem Heroes anymore. So I'm like, okay, I quit. That's 4 too many. Yes, it is. But also remember, I'm a crazy person. And also a VTuber. But also a crazy person. I mean, you have to be a little bit crazy to become a VTuber in the first place. And somehow, I have not spent any money in Genshin or Blue Archive. I've only spent money in Azure Lane and Girls Frontline 2, and that's purely for like cosmetic skins. Crazy person and VTuber are the same thing. Not necessarily. Every VTuber is a crazy person, but not every crazy person is a VTuber. It's like not every every X is Y, but not every Y is X. Man, I feel like I'm getting better at yapping about the most random and banal things. Like, I could yap about how this morning I had to do an emergency grocery run with the maid. And we went to the closest grocery store, and I started wandering about, as I do in grocery stores, checking out to see what's on sale. Is there anything new? Is there anything I can grab and just relay back to the shopping cart that the maid has? Because that's usually what I do. It's like the maid will give me a list of things to grab, and I will just zip zoom through the grocery store, grab what we need, and toss them in the shopping cart. It like cuts down on time so much. Even she told me, it's like, you know, thanks to you, grocery shopping is so much easier. It's so much faster. And today, I've noticed that in the cookie section, I'm looking at the cookies and I'm like, hey, they're $2.50 now instead of like the usual like $4 or $5 or whatever. And I'm looking at the selection. And you know what I saw? I saw maple cream Oreos. And they are advertised as made with real Quebec maple syrup. I have not tried them yet. I've only bought them today. But once I try them, I will report my findings back to you, chat. Like, I was looking to get like the usual double stuffed Oreos, but maple cream caught my eye immediately. Like, can this rival peanut butter Oreos? Because, let me tell you, peanut butter Oreos really fucking strong. If they sold them here in Canada, I would be getting them in Canada. But no, they do not in fact sell them in Canada. So I make it a point to always get them whenever I'm in the United States. I mean, sure, it almost got me trouble with the TSA. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Even the TSA guy, when I explained it to him, like, why am I getting peanut butter Oreos and stashing them in my luggage? I'm like, we don't get them in Canada. And he just shook his head, like it in an oh my god, I can't believe this is happening way, but also in a I kind of understand way. It was like a mixture of those two. Like, he looked so done, but in his heart, he kind of understood. Which is why I believe he let me go. Who hasn't gotten in trouble with the TSA? You know, you bring up a good point, Iggy. I don't think anyone who has gotten on a plane has ever not gotten in trouble with the TSA. But yes, I have not tried them yet. Maybe I'll try them tomorrow, because I just finished off the current stash of Oreos I had. Because I was raised to finish something before starting a new thing, especially when it comes to food. Like, what else did we finish? I have finished my box of Special K cereal, the vanilla almond flavored, with real almonds in there. You and I were raised quite differently in that regard. It's like, we're not so different, you and I. No. We were very different. It's like, it's that meme. We are not the same. So, now that I finished the box of Special K, that means I can move on to the box of Vector. And no, I don't mean Girls Frontline Vector, but like Kellogg's Vector. And it's like maple syrup crunch. You can see a pattern here. Can you tell I'm Canadian? How to say you're Canadian without saying you're Canadian? There's a lot of ways. Like, I like Tim Hortons, maple syrup, poutine. Let's all laugh at the Leafs. There are many ways you can say I am Canadian without saying I'm Canadian. Which reminds me, let's all laugh at the Leafs again. Ha ha ha. There's always next year, they said. Well, that's what you said last year. And the year before that. 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 Do you know what the Leafs and the Blue Jays have in common? The color blue and white? They both can't play hockey. Ayo! Womp womp. Good one, Iggy. Let's face it, making fun of the Leafs is the national pastime of Canada. Among other things. Even Leafs fans makes fun of Leafs fans. Like, hell, I see Leafs fans seeing, like, shirts and sweaters of the Leafs logo, but instead of saying Toronto Maple Leafs on it, it says, "Please once, just before I die." Please just once before I die. They haven't won the Stanley Cup since the 1960s. It's been over half a century. This is the longest drought in sports history. Hell, in that time, the Blue Jays won the World Series twice. The Argonauts won the Grey Cup at least once. Hell, the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship back in 2019. I'm aware I never reset my timer because I said I'm just going to spend the rest of the stream just yapping as a reward for finishing chapter 24. I'm aware, don't worry. Despite being a VTuber, I am responsible in most areas of my life. Although I appreciate you looking out for me. You didn't need to, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Like, there was something tomorrow I wanted to go to. Unfortunately, I couldn't book the day off, so I guess I'm just going to work tomorrow. Which kind of sucks because it's a Saturday. But hey, what can you do when you only have a high school education? Take that, male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, the homies supporting each other. That's part of the cure to male loneliness. Is that the homies need to watch out for each other. Because, hell, the rest of the world isn't going to. Anyways. I'm trying to think of a few more things to yap about in, like, the 3 minutes we have left. I'm looking outside the window. It's really dark outside. Except for, you know, all the street lights. Which is, you know, justified. Because of what was happening 5 years ago. We just never grew out of that habit. We just have that quirk built into us. The really bright street lights. That are almost like UV grade. There was a reason for that. If you've been keeping up with the lore, you know exactly why. It's just, we never bother to take them down. Because, you know, they're there. Might as well use them. You know, people are walking around on the streets at night. Safer than they were before 5 years ago. Of course they need to be able to see where they're going. Now that we're not using it for the, you know, special circumstances 5 years ago, now we can use them for their intended purpose. You know, lighting up the way. It's like, oh yeah, streetlights do that. Huh. We kind of forgot about that. Anyways, we're getting close to 11 o'clock. Thank you for joining me as I react to yet another based Shoe0nHead video. And then doing some more writing. And this is the part where I do the call to action of follow me on my social media accounts. Like follow me on Twitter whenever there's a schedule update, or whenever I post a new link to a short or a new edited video made by both me and Iggy. And if you want to watch them directly, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And click the link to join my Discord if you just want to hang out and chat. And if you're feeling generous, there's a link to my throne with all sorts of like various gifts of varying prices. Now let's see who's on. Who's still on? Okay, well, Cliff's not on anymore. I was lurking in Cliff's chat because he hasn't streamed in forever. Nope. Let me see. You know, we could raid Darson, but he's currently on a coffee break. So I guess we can stick around a little bit longer until he comes back. Because I don't really want to raid into him when he's on a BRB screen. That'd be kind of awkward. But there's some things I can close. I can close that tab because I don't need that tab anymore. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Man, so many people in this one VTuber Discord I'm in got boxes of that new VTuber card game called, I think it was Rift Runners. Oh, I do remember seeing one picture that made me kind of laugh. Let me just make sure I can find it again. I saw it in like a VTuber Cypress video. Let's see if I can just Google it. Yes. The quote-unquote rude coworker starter pack. You know, rude being in big air quotes. Spends every break in their car. Doesn't talk unless spoken to. Has a we're coworkers, not friends mentality. Gives vague answers when asked about weekend plans. Shows up only to do their job, then leave. Probably some form of neurodivergent. Well, I guess I'm going to be the rude coworker for the rest of my life. Because, like, I am all of those things except the eating in your car part. As I've established, new car, trying to keep it as clean as possible, which means no eating in the car, please, if you can help it. And I can most certainly help it. Alright, Darzan. Can you come back from your coffee break? I would like to raid into you. Unless you're in my chat right now and doing this on purpose, in which case, hi. But, you know, I guess we can just keep trying to improve my yapping capabilities. It's a long coffee break. I mean, yeah. Have you tried brewing coffee? It takes quite a bit. It's not instant. He's playing the long game. Well, looking at the category, he's playing Persona 3 Reload. Which, yes, is a long game. I can't process sarcasm. That's what this one comment says about the quote-unquote rude co-worker starter pack. But I would disagree. I would say autistic people are overly sarcastic because it's funny. Let me just copy this image and post it in shitposting. Let me just hide this Elgato for now. I'm not going to mute it, so you can keep listening to the music. And shitposts. There it is. I feel so seen by this image. Now I'm getting ads for Red Bull, which feels a little targeted, even though I haven't drank Red Bull in years. But I feel like this is very counterproductive to when I'm trying to get off energy drink powders. Like, why you gotta do this to me, Twitch? Is it because I talk shit about you all the time? Well, guess what, Twitch? You kind of deserve it. And by kind of, I mean definitely. You definitely deserve all the shit talk I give you. Man, this is a long coffee break. Alright, I can bring back Spirit City. See, here's the thing. When I'm doing the streaming from new PC to old PC, like, I gotta use Elgato. He's getting the beans himself. Oh boy. He's flying out to South America at this hour, at this time of the year. Damn, man. Oh, are we back? Yay, we're back. All right, we can raid Darkson now. Oh yeah, I need to do the raid message. I was checking out like who to raid. I forgot to put in the raid message. All right. All right. Hey. Copy that. All right. Good night, everyone. And remember, stay prime.